All that muscle, and for what? At least Rubia Arzoo needed 4 police officers to hold him down when going through a roid rage. Mustafa Ismail, on the other hand, claims his 31-inch biceps are all natty. And I'm Mike Tyson. Big Lenny. Palumboism is a protrusion of the stomach that's disproportional to the rest of the body. The first bodybuilder to have it was Dave Palumbo, and it was named after him. The bodybuilders who have it aren't fat. You can clearly see their abs, but they seem a bit distorted. This condition is caused by GH and insulin overuse. And Big Lenny has renamed those terms entirely. As you can see from his bodybuilding debut, his palumboism is so severe, the disease was renamed after him. And it's not being referred to as Lennyism. Russian Popeye. Kirill Tereshin, age 25, is a former Russian soldier that injected his biceps and triceps with petroleum jelly. The case is so severe that his 24-inch or 61-centimeter arms could lead to death. Kirill says that he wants to remove the petroleum injections in his arms, but then he goes on Instagram and posts photos for his 300,000 followers to see. Most of the people are ridiculing Kirill, who claims that the only reason he hasn't removed his injections so far is because of the pandemic. Once everything settles, he promises his social media fans that his life-threatening arms will be gone. Doctors say that foreign substances in the body could lead to kidney complications, and eventually, death if they aren't taken care of swiftly. Tereshin has claimed that the implants were a stupid mistake he made when he was 20, but that still doesn't excuse the fact that he's bragging about them on social media. After being convinced to undergo surgery by Alana Mamaiva, an activist against cosmetic surgery abuse, Kirill said, "I'm only 24, and my immune system is so far coping with this inflammation, but I really do not know what will happen next. That is why I started the surgeries to get rid of this nightmare." Hulk brothers. Tony and Alvaro are brothers from Rio, Brazil. When they were young, pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger inspired them to start bodybuilding. The older brother, Alvaro, started going to the gym first, and then his brother, Tony, followed suit. However, no matter how big they'd get, the two brothers thought they looked small. At that point, they began injecting their body with potent B12. This multivitamin stimulant was invented to help weakened horses. However, bodybuilders from Brazil started using it without any regard for its consequences. The Hulk brothers say that by using this stimulant, you gain 12 months of muscle mass in just 1 month. So far, the brothers have reached a combined weight of 530 pounds, or 240 kilograms, with the younger brother being around 50 pounds heavier. Their wives don't approve, and people on the street look at them with disgust. But for the Hulk brothers, they're wrong. Tony and Alvaro say that people love their muscles. Rubia Arzoo. 294-pound bodybuilder Rubia Arzoo attacked a couple as they were returning home from a night out in Colton, California. Rubia Arzoo was a 22-year-old, 300-pound bodybuilder who was experimenting with steroids, and he took it a little too far. One night, as a couple from the neighborhood was coming back home, Rubia stood naked on their front porch and attacked the husband. When he saw the wife, Rubia charged and attacked her as well. Onlookers began to flee, but someone managed to smash that like button just like you should do if you haven't already. But no, in all seriousness, someone managed to call the authorities. 2 police officers and 2 taser shots were not enough to take him down. He was unfazed. They called in reinforcements, but Rubia kept attacking. Finally, 4 officers came together, held him down, and arrested this crazy bodybuilder. He was charged with attempted homicide and aggravated mayhem. Sally McNeil. "I just shot my husband because he just beat me up." That's what Sally McNeil said to the 911 operator who took her call on Valentine's Day 1995. She and her husband were always at odds with each other. Ray McNeil was a Marine when he met Sally. The couple got married after only 2 months of dating and had 2 children together. To make some extra money, she began wrestling men on video for about $300 per hour. She became really good at it, so this earned her the nickname Killer Sally, which is ironic from today's perspective. Ray returned from the Marines, began focusing on his bodybuilding career, and experimented with steroids for his professional career. He began beating his wife and children. The last straw came on February 14th, 1995, when he came home and told his wife he'll be spending Valentine's Day with another woman. Sally killed him with a shotgun and reported the murder to the police. Mustafa Ismail. Mustafa Ismail held the Guinness World Record for the biggest biceps in the world in 2013. The circumference of his arms was 31 inches or 79 centimeters. The Egyptian bodybuilder claimed that his biceps are 100% natural, and he attained them by eating copious amounts of food. However, it was later confirmed that the size of his arms was due to his excessive use of synthol. Since then, Guinness suspended his record and took the record off their record. Valdir. I looked in the mirror and I felt good. This is how Valdir describes the first time he injected his body with synthol. The first injection turned into a second, and then a third. And before you know it, he was injecting his body with a potentially lethal substance. Valdir felt good, but the people around him could see he was in trouble. At one point, the situation got so bad that Valdir had to visit a specialist and examine his quote-unquote muscles. After doing some tests, the doctor smashed that subscribe button just like you should do if you haven't already. Oh, but no, seriously now. The doctor read the blood tests and found an inflammatory process in his body. Then, they looked at the MRI images and were shocked at what they saw. The foreign substance in Valdir's body was so massive, it was beginning to eat up the real muscles underneath. He immediately underwent surgery and promised the doctor he would never inject his body with oil again. Several years have passed since the surgery, and Valdir Sagata went back to his old ways. He continued injecting and started appearing on podcasts and YouTube videos for money. Sadly, his body couldn't bear the burden, so on July 26, 2022, Valdir passed away from health complications at the age of 55. Greg Kovacs. Greg Kovacs was a professional IFBB bodybuilder from Canada. He was born in 1968 and began competing professionally after 1995. After 10 years in the bodybuilding world, he won some minor titles, but then he decided to quit. In 2005, Greg Kovacs announced he would be retiring from bodybuilding in an edition of Muscle Insider. He said he would be focusing on his business of coaching other bodybuilding athletes. Kovacs was the heaviest bodybuilder in the world, weighing over 420 pounds in the off-season, with a contest weight of 330 pounds or 150 kilograms. Sadly, at the age of just 44, he passed away in his home in Ontario of heart failure. Greg Valentino. Before Mustafa Ismail, Greg Valentino held the title for the biggest biceps in the world, but he didn't do it naturally either. He was injecting his massive biceps and triceps with synthol. This professional bodybuilder didn't like how he looked in the mirror, so he began experimenting with illegal substances. He took his addiction so far that his arms actually exploded. He made a video of himself draining the oil from his arms in front of his bathroom mirror. Seeing that he could no longer control the infection, he went to the ER for emergency surgery. Andreas Munzer. Arnie isn't the only popular Austrian bodybuilder. Andreas Munzer made international headlines thanks to his freakishly low body fat percentage. His body fat was so low that Flex magazine featured him twice and Muscle Magazine International once. So while the other bodybuilders on the list used steroids to get abnormally large, Munzer used it to get lethally lean. Literally. On the morning of March 14, 1996, professional Olympia bodybuilder Andreas Munzer died from multiple organ failure. However, the autopsy revealed that his heart was twice the size of a normal human being's. See you in the next video.